Ding, 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 ding. Having chosen our duck, we continued on our seemingly endless quest for the holy grail of crispy skin. At this stage, cooking skin and flesh together to my satisfaction was proving impossible. Our biggest problem was making this work in a domestic kitchen.
Basically, we're in the CAC. We've only got a few days left to get this recipe sorted, and we have tried so many things, it's kind of desperate measures. We've gone through over 40 ducks trying to get this right. And I actually think the staff are probably getting a bit fed up with duck for dinner. But that's crisping the skin up on the top. There's another measure to help stop it curling at all is putting a pan on top, something that weights the skin down. This does get crisp skin, but the problem is it needs to be like the duck skin we had in China. This is it's a duck hanging in the oven, which is more the traditional method. Hopeful? Hopeful? No, not at this stage.
In the end, I decided the best way forward was to remove the skin from the flesh. Ding, 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 ding.
So now to remove the skin, first I'm just going to run a knife around the wing bones and then turn the bird on its back is facing you, and then run the knife straight along and the centre of the backbone. And then it's just a case of peeling the skin off. It's important to try and take the skin off without making any holes. I'm using a traditional boning knife. It's got quite a sharp point, but it's also curved towards the end. That makes it easier to work the skin away from the flesh.
Now to deal with the rest of the bird. I'm going to cook the breast, or crown, separately. To do this, I'm going to remove the backbone from the carcass, keeping the breast attached to the upper side of the rib cage.
So once the crown's been stripped down, I've put it in a brine, and this is made of cinnamon, star anise, coriander, black peppercorn, clove, and of course salt. All of those ingredients with the water have been brought to the boil, left to cool, and the crown's going in there now for 12 hours or overnight.
Ding, 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 ding. 3 months on, we were still trying to develop perfect crispy skin. Separating the skin from the meat had solved one problem, but we were still not getting the beautifully lacquered finish I wanted.
Right. That doesn't look very promising. Looks like you burned it.
Well, we actually haven't got any more time. You know what, I actually don't know whether to laugh or cry. We're now only a few weeks before we've got to actually film the end result. We've got everything sorted apart from the skin. You know, it really comes down to a sorry state of affairs when all of your hopes and dreams on a piece of duck skin that's been crocheted to a cake rack.
It's a beautiful crochet job, though.
I'll tell you what, it's probably the best result that we've got so far.
It's actually got a lot of the properties that we're looking for.
Ding, 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 ding.
We've eventually worked out this technique, which I think works brilliantly. It requires a cake rack, a ball of string, and a good needle. So what I'm going to do is actually stitch the skin to the cake rack. This might seem a little macabre, but it works really, really well. It was important not to get any holes in the skin when removing it from the duck, because those holes, during the drying process, the crisping up process, they will actually expand. The reason for that is this skin contains a lot of stuff called collagen. If we remove the skin and didn't do this, it would just completely curl up.
Before the rack goes in the oven, take a needle and prick the surface of the skin. This will allow some of the excess fat to seep away.
I've got the oven set at 60 degrees. This is for the first part of the cooking. It'll be turned up later. But that needs to stay in there for about 3 hours now.
When cooked in the oven, the duck's skin structure changes. The collagen in raw skin is made up of random patterns of angled fibres, which is what makes it stretchy and tough. Heat breaks the collagen down, turning it to gelatine, the strands of which degrade, balloon and thicken before hardening to become brittle. This results in the lacquered, crispy look and feel of classic Peking duck.
So just before I remove the skins from the oven, I'm going to make a glaze. This is something that's actually taken from the traditional classic Peking duck technique. In here, I'm putting some maltose or malt syrup and some vinegar. As soon as that's come to the boil, turn off the heat. Now I'll get the duck skins. They're cooked, but it's not yet crisp. Just dab that off. One thing that became really evident to me when I was in Beijing was that part of this recipe involves having a hint of smoke flavour on the skin, and that was achieved by putting fruit wood, cherry wood, apricot wood in the fire. So as the fat would drip off the ducks while roasting, the wood would smoke and just lick the skin with this wonderful, delicate smoke flavour. So the question is how to do this at home. Actually, the answer is rather simple. Just take a packet of cherry wood chips designed to stick on your barbecue. Make a little foil pouch, pour in my chips, seal the pouch up, and then make a hole in the pouch, pop it into the pan. And once the packet starts smoking, pop it in the tray, skim back on top, and they need to stay in there for about 15 to 20 minutes.